What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys. Well, we are less than 24 hours into the Great Burning Event. Happy 5-year anniversary to Splinterlands. And I have to say, just within 24 hours, this thing has been a smashing success so far. So even if we don't burn any more DEC, take a look at where we're at. The total amount of DEC burned is over 200 million. Yes, just DEC is at 205 million right now. And I'm recording this a couple of hours before the 24-hour mark, where we will probably see not probably, but we will see the amount of points given per DEC go down just a little bit, 0.07. But we also have had almost 120,000 DECB burned as well. So this has been huge. I mean, we've burned over 300,000, I guess, DEC/DEC batteries out of the ecosystem. I'm not too focused or concerned with DECB. I mean, if we do burn more now, fantastic, but I can't see additional utility for DECB really coming in until land phase, until I guess land phase 2, which may not be, hopefully later this year, if not sometime 2024. Granted, you can spend your DECB now on a lot of guild items as well as the upcoming guild upgrades, which we'll hopefully get sometime in Q3. But ultimately, what's going to impact the economy now is the amount of DEC burned rather than DECB, because we've already accounted for that. That's just getting burned and essentially pulled in some of that future demand. So if you want to take a look here, you can see the top 3. Housewife for the win is just recently jumped back into first place. You got Cryptomancer at number 2, Yaba P Matt at number 3. Yaba was one of the first ones out of the gate to take that top spot, burning 10 million DECB right off the bat. And then there's a lot of other names that you may recognize here. Peak Monsters has now jumped into the top 10, which is pretty cool. You can see Yixin, Loving the Moo, Crypto Eater, Dehoda. I mean, there's a lot of names here that I recognize, which is actually really cool, just to see everybody getting engaged, everybody getting excited. Everybody getting excited about this, and ultimately, we still have 29 plus more days to go. So if we just take a quick look around the rest of the ecosystem, let me go ahead and refresh this. You will be able to see here that we are now under 5 billion DEC circulating on Hive. Now, there's still more DEC that is out there, and I'm going to do a separate video kind of focusing on what's out on the Binance and Ethereum chains, but we are now down under 5 billion on we are now down under 5 billion on the Hive blockchain, which is fantastic. We're at 4.9 billion. We've burned over 207 million in the past 24 hours. So we are moving in the right direction. Now, DEC is up from a percentage standpoint over the past 7 days. When this was announced, about 15-ish%. So we're still sitting at 850 splintoshis, or 842 splintoshis to be exact, at this moment. We haven't quite crossed the 850 splintoshis yet, and I'm trying to stay somewhat reserved and have a healthy skepticism here. I don't know that this event will necessarily provide the demand we're going to need to see DEC reach peg. If it does, that's awesome. But I really think we're going to have to wait until Land 1.5 comes out, and hopefully we'll get a better idea of that timeline now that the team is done with their planning, and we'll be coming out with another, or hopefully updated, roadmap in a future town hall, hopefully once we are in the month of June. So that's pretty awesome. Let's head back over to Peak Monsters as well. Let me refresh this. And the last thing that we're going to take a look at is the DECB balance. So for some reason, I'm not sure where all of the DEC is being sent, but this was, there was supposed to be 2 billion, and you can see we've burned about 120 million so far. So that makes sense. So you take this balance, subtract what's already in the null wallet, since whatever's being burned for this event is not going to the null wallet, and we have about 260 million DECB remaining. So there's still quite a bit there. And when you look at some of the top folks here, the top holders, there's Crypt71X with 15 million, Yaba Matt has another 19 million. So I'm excited as we see the top players at all different levels start to jockey for position. And I think that's the best part about this, is that there are levels to this. So the top 10 would get a legendary title plus all of that land. So there's going to be jockeying for position around the top 10. There'll be another jockeying for position around the 60 the 60 rank mark, because this goes from epic title down to rare title. And then, of course, anybody who is in or around the 200 mark will still get that rare title, which I think is going to be really important and clutch for land coming up. So at this point in time, you would have had to burn probably about 300 DEC or DECB. Obviously, that's going to go up slightly once we hit the 24-hour mark here. But ultimately, this is getting exciting. I'm going to be hopefully really happy to cover this as we go along. I'm not going to make daily videos, but if we see some major moves and major impacts within the economy, I think it'll be worth covering and digging into the details. But that is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me also know, are you planning to go for some of these top spots? Have you been waiting, and are you willing to, try to jockey for, the 200th spot? I mean, 300,000 DEC isn't a small chunk of change, but at the end of the day, what makes me really excited is the simple fact that for every 10,000 points you get, which is roughly, 3,300 something DEC right now, you will get an entry into the raffle, and you get to keep all of the guild points, which is probably the most important thing. Now, at the end of the day, look at me. I've burned, I burned 21,000 DECB. I have 6 chances to receive prizes. But when you compare that to the top, 4,000, 4,000, 3,000, I'm way, way far behind. I highly doubt that I'm going to get anything out of this. But if I do, that's awesome. If I don't, at the end of the day, I'm going to be able to take all of those guild points and apply them to the guild that I'm in. Shout out to Archmage Arius Disciples. And I think that's the best part. I'll be able to keep that value with me, or 90% of that value, even if I decide to leave the guild or get kicked out for any reason. But that is all I have. Have an amazing rest of your day. I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game.